Welcome to my garden, the GinGee GoodEarth production, Roman numeral number 6, Part 11E, a universal history of the United States of America, and we are going to read a chapter on colonial breakfast written by Ida Bailey Allen, and we'll get to that first. So again, welcome, June 27th. The Modern Method of Preparing Delightful Foods by Ida Bailey Allen, 1929. Through my work with the National Food Administration during the Great War, I became convinced that as a nation we were drifting away from simple, wholesome living. We did not know how to use corn and the great products made from it. Now, I'm reading this because today we have a pandemic and restaurants have closed. The food is missing from the shelves, and we're all going to have to take responsibility and cook for ourselves in our homes. And some of us have limited kitchen equipment. I'm still using equipment from 1955. I still have the same oven, a General Electric, and I have a stovetop, but I have a very small refrigerator, and I have a very, very, very small freezer. Unless I buy a big freezer, I won't have any frozen foods. But again, I am a clinical dietitian, and I worked in food service all my life, and I like being the French in the way that I shop and cook. I always buy fresh produce. I buy frozen vegetables, but I don't like food frozen for long periods of time because of being from a very large family of 10. I know that food spoils even in the freezer. So you have to be very cautious about how you prepare for a 3-month or 6-month or year supply of food that you may need in dire times that we're in. And I don't know if you realize this, but our neighbors, our own neighbors in our own communities, are burning down our communities. And isn't that shocking? And they live in a modern age. They live in a modern time. So we'll be going back to egg salad sandwich on Monday, tuna fish salad sandwich on Tuesday, chicken salad sandwich on Wednesday, bacon and lettuce and tomato sandwich on Thursday, and hopefully a hot dog or a hamburger on Friday. Saturday, American cheese sandwich on Saturday. Sunday, maybe we'll have a 4-course, meal with roast beef, green peas, mashed potatoes and gravy. But this is what we're heading to, because we have irresponsible people that have been working in our United States administration. And the convenience of going out to fast food and to restaurants is a day that's now over, because COVID-19 will never be cured. There is no vaccine for something that was man-made and artificially supplanted to harm our molecules and cells in a healthy body. So beware and start stocking up on food supplies. And the best way you can do this is not by freezing a lot of food, because it will spoil. If you overdo it, then you'll have a lot of food spoilage. Even canned food cannot last 2 years. So as I said throughout other videos, there's ways to go about it, and I just gave you the most inexpensive food menu that there will be. But I have been practicing food thrift, and I've been practicing preparing foods and making sure that the foods that are in my refrigerator can last 30 days, and I share and portion my food. And I also have family and children and grandchildren. But the best thing you could do for yourself is to start to practice. And you're going to have to start writing menus so that you don't worry about, well, where's my next meal? McDonald's is closed. Or, oh my gosh, Eaton Park, their prices went up. I can't afford to go for breakfast. And there you go. Breakfast is the main meal of the day where you need the most energy to help supply the nutrients that your body will need for hard labor, rigorous activity throughout the day when you go to work. And if you have a desk job, then you have to bring your lunch. A lot of people are working from home on the computer because this disease is so contagious that you can't sit next to or amongst people because you never know if someone has a fever and has the problem with coronavirus or COVID-19. This is a very serious situation that we're in. And for people to get rambunctious and make up a belief problem that there are issues that don't exist, and so therefore let's just, burn the whole town down and burn all the food markets and even a Target, and let's just steal all the supplies out of the building. For what not? That is not a solution. That doesn't help other families and neighbors and so forth. So we're in a dire mess of problem. That's not being community oriented or caring about your neighbor. That's not how you help, build bridges amongst each other and grow in society. I'll tell you what, you work in a hospital, and that's where you learn human compassion and human importance of why it is so important that we keep our health. You go ahead, work in a hospital, watch all that human suffering, all the crying, all the painful agony that humanity has to go through. I gave my lunch hour up for Meals on Wheels for 9 years. I didn't go to lunch. I prepared lunch for my community neighbors for 9 years. I gave up my lunch hour to help other people. That's what humanitarian efforts are. And if you vote this year, you walk to the voting station. Skip if you have to. If you have to get a ride in a car, get a ride. But everybody, please make sure that you're at your voting poll station and seeing your neighborhood, and it's a very community-oriented event. You get to say hi to your fellow volunteers that are helping you have that special right to vote. Forget the mail-in voting. That's ridiculous. That's for the infirm or the people that are not able to make it to the voting poll because they can't walk or even drive, because they have to have medical assistance. That's what the mail-in vote is for those that are in assisted living. So would you please get to the voting polls and vote? And do not ever think that those that have damaged all the different communities over a falsehood of information and hurt their neighbor's food supply, we're in a dire situation where we have a food shortage. And we will be skillfully trying to eliminate hunger in our own home and also helping our neighbors. Like I said, have you devoted your lunch hour for 9 years to help others to make sure they get their lunches on time? How many of you have helped somebody else ensure their lunch beside your own home family needs? And then you watch the outcome on CN, on these false news channels. I don't even want to mention them. How are they helping? By pushing people to accept tyranny. That is not the answer. So let's all pray about it, and hopefully we won't have children and the elderly starving, and everybody have special thoughts of thanksgiving and thankfulness that we live in America where we actually have liberty, civil liberties, and humanitarian rights. And again, we help so many other countries. But there's a shadow government among us that does not want us to have these freedoms. And there's a picture on my picture show. It's a leather shop of that dinosaur made out of handbags. But did you notice the tail is a scorpion's tail? That's an image. That is something that was made to help corrupt downtown New York City. There is massive corruption of diabolism. Now I want you to research that and look deep into your heart to realize that we're in a dire state of problem. And to those singers and actors and performing artists that have gone to the dark side, literally, and are promoting this sickness and illness among Americans, enough is enough. All of us will be in the same boat. We're all going to end up starving if we don't pick up our bootstraps and follow the rules, civility and nice manners, and realize how we should be grateful for having a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. And we are trying to win back our nation through God's grace.